Hello, everybody. It's Stephanie K from Unveiling the Spirit again. Thanks for tuning in again. I always want to say thank you because I know there are a lot of people out there talking, a lot of people out there with their opinions and videos and YouTubes and everything. So anybody that's interested in anything I have to say, and I feel the same about my books. If you read my books, I'm just very grateful that you're even interested. So thank you for tuning into my video and listening to what I have to say. I really appreciate it. But today I want to unveil the spirit about Christians and guns. It's a very touchy topic here, especially in America with Christians and their guns. And I just want to, shed my little light on it a little bit and kind of try to look at it more from a spiritual perspective. This video is not going to be long at all because I don't want to drag this out. I think it's kind of clear cut, where God stands on guns, but you have a lot of people who disagree. So in America we have really serious issues about gun rights, and you would think that this, and it kind of goes back to my video about the lie of politics. You have this group of people who feel that they are doing the right thing and are even chosen by God or representing God, and as they kind of pit themselves against another group of people. And so if you want to read some more about my lie of politics, listen to my lie of politics video for more information on that. You can, look for it and watch it. But I don't want to go into the political side of it too much. I just want to say that that those things are connected. And so but outside of the political aspect of it, and specifically focusing on Christians, I see a lot of Christians who are very adamant about their gun rights. I've seen articles about churches where everybody brings their guns to church. I've seen Facebook posts with the gun cut into the shape of a Bible, or the Bible cut into the shape of a gun, I should say. Even when I saw that post, I made a comment, and people got really upset with me about what I said. And so I guess I'm going to make some people upset with this video, but that's fine. It has to be said, and anybody who wants to hear it. If you don't want to hear it, you can easily turn this video off. So but I want to say that I do not believe Christians should own guns. I do not think that Christians should be in any way, shape, or form interested in murdering another human being. Now, people will say, what if the person is trying to hurt you? That is a very good point. But if you have God, why are you so worried about someone trying to hurt you? That sounds like fear to me. And if you trust God, you should not have fear. The Bible says God does not give us a spirit of fear. So you should be making preparations for what might happen in case of something that you're fearing. That's not God. So yeah, do we have a right to protect ourselves? Yes, but not to the extent of killing another person. Now imagine the apostles who were constantly being beat, and some of them were murdered and chased around and jailed. If they didn't have guns back then, so let me say they had knives and swords, and people that were coming after them to kill them, they cut them, or stabbed them. Does that sound right? It doesn't sound right to me. Even Jesus, when they were coming to take him, and one of the disciples cut the man's ear, Jesus said, no, those who live by the sword die by the sword. He did not say, yeah, cut him, he shouldn't be messing with us. I mean, sometimes this is the mentality that Christians have about another human life, when there's in no way, shape, or form Jesus demonstrated that in any way. And so even the apostles, like do you have a right to protect your life? Yes. When they had avenues to get away, they did. If they had to sneak, run, hide, they did. They did not just stand there and let themselves be beat. Sometimes they did. But if they had an opportunity to get away and resist that type of violence, they did. That is fine. We don't have to just, be beat and just stand there and take it all the time. But now retaliating in violence is what is the line for me. God has never told anybody, Jesus has never told anybody in the New Testament to react in violence, even towards a life-threatening thing. As a matter of fact, he said, if a man take your life, let him take it. Like, we're going to heaven. We're going to be with God. And I almost think it's almost like coveting, but you're coveting your life. You're like, hey, this is mine. You can't have it. And I understand that on a very earthly, human, carnal sense, that you want to protect your life. Actually, we're programmed, our programming outside of God, which I may go into this in another video, is to protect ourselves. We have very basic programming, just like animals, because we have flesh, to protect ourselves, feed ourselves, survive. We have that. But that is outside of God. That is when the body is on its own, without any spiritual guidance. So in the spirit, we should be thinking on a higher level, not just survival instinct, And so we can do what we can to be okay, but at the same time, we understand that there's something greater or more important going on than just our one single solitary life. Like, look, Jesus was beat and he was murdered brutally, and he said, God, forgive them, for they don't know what they're doing. So what makes any Christian now feel that they have a right to take another human being's life? If anything, you should say to, especially, okay, put it like this. Christians should be interested in saving souls, right? Now, if someone's trying to hurt you, obviously that person is not saved. So if you kill them, you're sending them to hell. And you should care more about you. You should be more willing to say, you know what? If you want to kill me, go ahead, because I'm going to heaven. You still need to stay here so that you can be witness to it. I'll pray that God sends someone to help you. Because if you die now, you're going to hell, and there's no coming back from that. Now, that would sound crazy to a lot of people. Like, oh my goodness, do you really think I'm going to just let somebody kill me? If you are living in the spirit, yes, you would. Look what the apostles did. Look what Jesus did. They were not all out for protect me. They were willing to suffer and sacrifice for the benefit of other people so that they can get saved. And so I don't think that any Christian has any business with a gun. Like, now, if you go hunting, yeah, that's fine. I have my own personal feelings about hunting, but it's not a sin if you kill an animal, that's for sure. And so if you use a gun to go hunting, fine. But if you have a gun in your home for protection from another human being trying to harm you, I do not think that you really understand the spirit of God. That doesn't mean you're not a Christian, but it could mean that you haven't grown spiritually enough. Okay, just like I mentioned the story in the Bible with the apostles or the disciples that were in the garden with Jesus when he came, and the guy was trying to take Jesus, and he cut his ear. Was he not a Christian? No, he was a Christian. He believed God. He was going on to do great things. That doesn't mean you're just evil and wicked, but he wasn't spiritually mature to understand that God thinks on a higher level than that. He's not just about the fleshly responses of protect, survive. God is that's just basic thinking. God is way above that. I mean, even when you think about Paul, he was in, I believe it was in Corinthians, saying that, like, when those the Corinthians had other guys coming in teaching them and taking and they were paying them, and he was saying, why are you believing them over me? I didn't even take any money from you guys. He even said, you know, you guys put up with them, you know, and so why are you not, he said, you, because you're putting up with them, will you put up with someone who slaps you? But then he said, even me, I'm not mature enough for that. I'm not, he said he's not strong enough to endure that. And so why would he say he's not strong enough? Like he's weak in some areas that he couldn't endure a slap. That means that he hadn't grown spiritually to the point where he would not take offense or react to a slap in a spiritual way. He would react to it carnally, and he recognized that, or he would react carnally. And he just accepted that, yeah, I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. Yeah, I know that as a Christian, I'm supposed to turn the other cheek. I know that. But if somebody slaps me, I can't promise you I'm going to respond that way. So he was very honest that he wasn't there yet. But he described that in terms of strength and weakness. He said if he was able to respond if he was able to respond differently, that would mean he was strong, like spiritually strong and mature. And so anybody who is walking around here wanting to have a gun as a Christian to kill another person if they try to harm them, it doesn't mean you're not a Christian, but you definitely need to grow spiritually to understand that there are bigger things going on, and if that person kills you, they're sending you to your Father. They're sending you to paradise. So why are you so guarded about your life? Your life is supposed to be used for God to witness to people. I have heard stories of people being robbed and stuff like that, and they witnessed to the person that was robbing them, and the person stopped doing what they were doing and actually got saved. Well, you have to have a lot of faith in God to do that. You really have to be rooted in your word and in your relationship with God and understand who you are in Christ, or you're not going to be able to do that. And so basically that's my unveiling the spirit about Christians and guns. Don't get mad at me and start writing a bunch of comments that because I'm saying that Christians shouldn't have a gun, I'm evil, blah, blah. Just like I said, you can turn off the video and don't worry about it. It's just me. It's just one person. It's just my opinion. It's not a big deal. Calm down. It's okay. So anyway, that's my view on Christian with guns. You can have your own, but I believe that represents more of what Jesus and the disciples stood for. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in, and be blessed. Bye.